Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Was the Ultimate Saiyan. Remember to give this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was a one-of-a-kind prodigy over on Anime King 2, and enjoy that guys, and also over on Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken Algard's godly abilities, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, for anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be planning talking about to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, with this to begin this new episode, start the intro. So, the last spot we left off, as Naruto and his team finished the first phase, and that was to capture the flag as they got the 3 flags, and they passed that phase of the exam. So they were now on to the second phase where they will be fighting as a team, as every members were lined up, as the man known as the Storm of Kumo Raymond was a proctor for this exam, as they were all gathered there, as the proctor told him about the rules. Killing was allowed, but it was frowned upon. As the members are there, as Naruto met the girl known as Fu. She was really nice. She was from the Hidden Waterfall village, as she was sent here with 2 guards by her leader Shibuki to watch over her, as she was the one that signed up for the exams on her own. She just wanted to make new friends. As Naruto agreed to be her friend, she hugged him as she was happy about it, as Naruto liked her little antics. So with that, the matches went on. Tintin and her team went down there as they faced off against a guy from the Hidden Sand. He was a taijutsu user, it seems. He was incredibly fast and powerful, as he was able to bring Tintin and the others down rather quickly along with his team, as Naruto was getting more excited as the team went off. The matches went off as everyone started to take part, as Naruto was called along with his team. Surprisingly, we're faced off against Fu and her team, as he made his way down there. He decided to test the waters first, as they started the fight. Fu did an ability that blinded everyone. Her teammates were supposed to take out the competitors, the massive water jutsu that they already gathered, with their eyes closed, but Naruto stopped it, stopping them from performing their technique, as Fu then came down to fight him as she trapped him in a strange cocoon of sorts, as Naruto performed and used his ki to slice right through it. As he came out and they started the fight, as his team got back up and dealt with the other 2 members of Fu team, they weren't that strong, as Naruto and Fu fought. As Fu was surprised because she was incredibly strong, and yet Naruto was keeping up with her. He was matching her punch for punch until he increased his speed and his punches. As she started to feel the stress of the punches, she tapped into the Nebi's chakra. Her wings increased in number as she started to fight Naruto, but she was no match for him as he knocked her with a single punch to the stomach. With that, their team extended to the other round, as Naruto then watched as Ai went down there, as she demolished a team by himself, as Naruto was just waiting to fight him. Not only that, it was a team from the stone as well, with a black-haired girl on that caught Naruto's interest. After that, the phase was over. They had 2 weeks to prepare for the upcoming finals, as their villagers would be here to witness them take part. Meanwhile at Konoha, as Mito really wanted to go, as Hiruzen decided to bring her along as she wanted to cheer her big brother on. Several Hyugas were also going as well, and several villagers from this village watched as Konoha demolished the other examinees. As people were really excited about this, Jiraiya also came by as well. He knew that he messed up a lot. As he wasn't here, he had took Minato's and cushioned his death hard, and he neglected on some of his duties, especially being there for the kids. As he felt pitiful enough, Harrison decided not to make it worse. But Naruto was different from certain people, and Jiraiya would not be forgiven that easily. It would be downright difficult to get him to forgive him. But Mito was his weak point. Harrison informed him. The girl was nice, sweet. She could be angry, rash when she wanted to be, but she always approached things with a nice attitude. So she was his best way of getting in touch with Naruto. Meanwhile, I was training like crazy, as he was not gonna lose Naruto as he pushed himself up the mountain with 3 boulders attached to him, as his father watched him with a proud smile. As Naruto was also training, everyone was getting ready for the finals. As Naruto found himself being watched but the person moved off before he could go after them. Well, he could chase after them, but he decided not to. This wasn't his village after all. So yeah guys, it was basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the blade for yourself. So what do you say begin this new episode? This situation was difficult enough already. It was hard to approach her because nowhere that he loved would she go. She wouldn't go to a hot spring. She wouldn't go to a bar or anything like that for him to randomly bounce into her or something like that. He had passed her several times in the street. He hoped that she would address him or call out to him or say something to him, recognizing him. But the girl acted like she didn't even know him one bit. Well, they didn't even know each other that well, but he was sure that she knew who he was. So he decided to take the firmer approach. So, you finally come to me yourself, the voice of Mito said, as Jiraiya stood there. They were in the Sarutobi training compound. As the place was a mess, Jiraiya was surprised. The girl was doing basic taijutsu. She was able to shatter the tree with a kick, although it was not one of the trees like the ones around Konoha. But she shattered it. Jiraiya was surprised. Harrison had told him that the girl was a young prodigy, but for her to be able to master her chakra art like that, to this extent, to make it worse, she had the 9 tails inside of her, and yet she was able to control her chakra to this degree, to be able to strengthen her leg to the point of shattering a tree with just saying a kick. He was beyond impressed. So you noticed that, said Jiraiya. Yes, I have, said Mito, as she turned towards him. What is it that you want, she asked. Well, I wanted to get to meet you, so we could, what, talk, said Mito, cutting him off. You wanted to meet so we could talk. You know I know exactly who you are, right? I mean, I know that you're the legendary Saiyan Jiraiya of the Toads, but you were close to my father and my mother, and yet, not even once after their death did I ever saw your face. Did I ever see you anywhere? I know you show up. I'm gonna be 13 soon enough. 12 years of my life and you were never here. Not even once. So tell me, what kind of excuse do you have? Oh, let me guess. You had your spy network to deal with. Yes, I read about you. You are the main source of information for Konoha. Your spy network and all. Not to mention you're a huge pervert who goes around spying on girls in hot tubs and baths. Something really disgusting, in my opinion, she said, as she looked him over. Another thing. Yes, you're a Saiyan, so you have free reins outside the village to do as you please, as long as your loyalty stays in check. You know, the Saiyans are really just a disappointment. I mean, one of them is a traitorous snake. The other one is a drunk. And you. She shook her head. So, care to explain to me why you're here now? Jiraiya lowered his head. He deserved that. Nothing to say. I'm sorry, he said. I know that doesn't mean much, given that you know everything. After your father passed away, it was a lot for me to take. It was a lot. A lot for you? Her eyes turned murderous. Jiraiya was not sure as he saw a flicker of red for a second there. The girl then started to go through hand sign. Hey, what are you? She slammed her hand on the ground. Miniature spikes erupted at Jiraiya's feet, almost skewering him. She created 20 clones that met him in hand-to-hand combat. Jiraiya, being a Saiyan, was easy to defeat them, but it was just a distraction as he heard crackling of electricity. This girl was just a kid, right? He had to leap as the ground was ripped apart by the electric blast that she sent after him. As Jiraiya landed on his feet, her hair was in the air, in 9 different sections. He saw a flash of Kushina as her rage was building even more. "You were hurt?" As her voice got deepened with rage, the whisker marks on her cheeks seemed to get more pronounced as her eyes got completely red with slits in them. "Don't you dare come here and speak to me about being hurt." "My brother, he was just 2 years old. At the time I didn't know anything because I was just a baby, but he had sense. He understand the world around him more than what people would expect for just a 2-year-old. And he was hurt. I came to realize that when I was younger. He think I don't remember, but I do. I saw how sad he was. He missed them. It was on our birthday. It reminded him of that night where he lost everything. And I was too young to help him. I was just a baby." As her hair started to calm down, he was hurt. He pretended like he was not, always keeping this brave persona up, always acting like he's okay for my safety. So I would not be sad. Every day on my birthday, I wake up to breakfast that he cooked for me personally. A little tradition of ours. A hug, a kiss on the forehead, and he always find me these little gifts that just brighten my day. And he take me out to do whatever I want. He even changed his own birthday. We never know his real birthday because he was adopted by our parents. So he changed his birthday to be exactly on the day of mine, so we can have the same birthday. And despite that, he always made the day all about me, making me feel so special. As she sat on the ground, as it seems like she remembered a warm memory, as a smile came on her face, as Jiraiya saw how much she cared for the boy as her brother, despite not actually being related. As he's seen that look before several times actually, on Tsunade's face and many others, love that they have for a sibling. She then looked back up at him with a glare. "So, don't you dare come here and say that you were hurting," because he was hurting even more. But yet, he took it all, despite everything of what he's feeling, always showing love and care. She got back to her feet. "The only way I will consider ever talking to you again is if he forgives you. Until then, don't you ever talk to me," she said. As she walked away, leaving the son in there. Jiraiya sat down after a while. He failed, big time. If Minato and Kushina would see him now, they would be so angry. What a disappointment he turned out to be. He promised them that he would look after the kids, if anything should happen. At the time, he believed that they would be just fine. But the worst did happen, and he was not there at all. And now the kids hated him. There were so many failures that he has done in his life, and this was just another one. He never knew that it would be this bad. As he got back to his feet, the only way to fix this was to go to the Chunin exams as well, and try to find a way to get the kid to forgive him at any means necessary. Because if he was not forgiven by the kid, well, he could see it. He would never get to know them, and he would never be a part of their life. And despite all his failures, he had to do something about this one. Time skip. At Kumo, Samui was sitting down as they were on a rather high cliff. She was amazed. There was just a few people or a few things in this world that interested her. Strength was one of those things. Her sensei Yujito was a prime example of a powerful kunoichi that also loved to fight as well. She only could dream someday that she would be able to reach that level of strength. Even with her laid-back attitude, every now and then something always piqued her interest. And this boy in front of her right here was one of them right now. As he was so amazing. It was ridiculous. He was wearing a shirt. As he was at the edge of the cliff, one hand holding on to his pant leg, the other one was holding on to the edge of the stone. As he was upside down, 9,997, 9,998, 9,999, 10,000 as he flipped, as Naruto landed on his feet. After just performing 10,000 one-handed push-ups upside and down. But that was not the only thing that he did. 10,000 sit-ups. And not to mention the 4 massive boulders that he had wrapped with cords around his waist and climbed up the cliff with bare hands. He had dug a trench, literally digging straight down the center of the cliff, without even chakra. Was he real? He flipped as he landed on his feet. She saw the sweat glistening off of him. He was 14 years old, and yet his body was so developed, like someone that has been training for their entire life since they were born. He had a well-toned pair of six-pack. His pecs were well firm, muscles lining his body but in a perfect way to show flexibility and strength at the same time. His calves were large. As Naruto wiped the sweat away from his brow, she saw him moving on to continue the next exercise. "You're not done," she said, raising an eyebrow. "To be the best means you cannot give up no matter what," said Naruto. "Doesn't matter what you have to put your body through, hell and back, to become the strongest. You have to do it." "Is that your motto?" she said, as she raised the eyebrow. "Kind of," said Naruto. "I can see why you're so strong. Let me guess. You never give up no matter what." "I don't know the meaning of giving up," said Naruto. "That is just for cowards." As it actually made her chuckle. "What's so funny?" said Naruto. "No, it is just I can finally see why you challenged Raikage." "Why do you think I did that?" "Oh, it's quite simple. You're insane." "And why would I be insane?" "Well, only an insane person would do what you did. And still going off to train even more. Your body will need rest." "All rest," said Naruto. "I mean after what you just did. You know your body can physically shut down, right? After what you just did." As Naruto placed a firm hand on his chest. "My body's a lot tougher than it looks." "I can see that," she said, as she eyed him up and down. "Hey, can you do me a favor?" said Naruto. "I need the extra weight." "What do you mean?" she said. "Can you get on my back?" As she raised her eyebrow. "Are you saying I'm fat?" she asked. "Well, not really." "So what was that comment about the extra weight?" "Well, another human body type. That's the extra weight that you're gonna be. So, can you get on my back?" "What exactly are you gonna do?" she said. "I don't feel like telling you." "Huh? Then why should I get on your back?" "Because I promise you won't get hurt. So why not tell me?" "Because if I do, you'll get afraid, and you won't want to do it. It's gonna be something stupid, right?" "Kind of," said Naruto. "Well, to you, that means you're gonna do something that is really hectic, and I'm probably gonna get hurt if you fail." As he flashed her a grin, "Don't worry, I won't fail." She got to her feet as she walked over to him. "You interest me, Naruto," she said. "I'll see where this is going." As she climbed on his back, she ignored the sweat. "So, what?" she screamed as he jumped right off the cliff. It was not an easy drop by any means necessary, as she could feel her heart in her ears beating loudly as they were falling, and he showed no sign of slowing down. "Do something, you idiot," she said, as they were too far away from the cliff to use their chakra to hold on. Well, her to be exact. So they were gonna die. She really shouldn't have done this. But as she glanced down towards him, he was calm, as Naruto held out his hand and used the key to push himself towards the wall, as he stabbed his hand right through solid rock, stopping her momentum, jerking her up and down. She took several deep breaths. Her arm was wrapped around his chest. "I thought we were gonna die." "I told you wouldn't get hurt," said Naruto. "Are you okay back there?" "Yes, I'm fine. But if you do something that stupid once again, without warning me first, I'm gonna hurt you," she said, as Naruto chuckled a bit. "Bring us back up to the top," she said. "I haven't even started yet." "Wait, what? What are you gonna do?" This, said Naruto as he held out his pinky finger. before pushing it and start to climb up. Wait, what the hell? I thought I would do it with you on my back first before doing it with 3 boulders. As Naruto started to use his finger alone to pull them back up to the top. She was just beyond stunned. Time skip. It was the day before the finals. As Naruto was currently on top of one of the mountain peaks. His eyes were closed, his legs were folded. As he was meditating, he had learned that all humans possessed ki. Even though they couldn't draw upon it like how he could, they possess it, and they didn't have a large quantity. But with the ki inside of them, he could sense them. And he could focus on individual keys that people possess. Some of them were stronger than usual, especially those like the Raikage and his son Ai, and Lee and Guy. They did not know how to harness the ki, but they have it. But it was not as strong as his though. But focusing their ki, he could also sense the other power that was attached to it, which was their chakra. As he felt a large amount of chakra in the village. It was massive, but it was not normal like a normal person's chakra. It was a bit tainted, a bit on the darker side, yet it did not seem evil. As Naruto then felt another one, another mass amount of chakra into the village. It was 2 of them. It seemed like they were almost combined, but there was this lurking, dark, overwhelming amount of power. As Naruto wondered what the hell that was. He had never truly focused so hard on it before. Roshi had taught him how to sense between different ki. But as he realized, he could also sense between different chakra as well. But this one felt so familiar. The smaller one, but the larger one was just so tainted and dark. As he let his senses rest, as he opened his eyes, as a cool breeze washed over his face. Tomorrow was the finals and he could not wait. As he wondered when was Mito and the old man getting here. As he lay back down. He's been pushing himself for the past week crazy. Samui has been here a lot. She had become a good friend of his. He could say that he had met a lot of friends. Yujito, Samui, Omoi was one of them. Karu was, well, she was just a bit too much. Even though she seemed nice sometimes, but sometimes she was just a bit too angry. And also Fu. And not to mention he was getting along with Nyeri. They weren't at each other's throats every time, even though he still hated Neji. As he was up there by himself, he felt 2 keys approaching him. Given the fact that he was not actively trying to sense them, he only sensed them when they were close enough. As one of them separated from the other one, as Naruto felt it, that large amount of chakra that was tainted. The other one seemed to stop at the end of a cliff, but the second one was coming up right towards him, and it was moving fast. As Naruto looked down the pathway as he saw something rushing up, as he saw the red hair. A smile came on his face as he jumped down, moving towards it. The moment he was close enough before he could utter a word, she crashed right into him as he caught her. As Naruto's smile was infectious. As he spun her around, "You're finally here," he said, as Mito hugged him once more, as he settled her back down. "I missed you so much," he said, as Naruto focused on her. "What's wrong?" she said, seeing that look on his face. "Oh, it's nothing," said Naruto. "I'm just glad you're here." "Did the old man come with you?" he said. "Yeah, he's down there. His bones would ache too much if he climbed all the way up here," said Mito as the both of them laughed at that. "He really wants to talk to you," she said, as she hopped right onto his back. "Like the old days. Down we go," she said, she pointed, as Naruto jumped. She cheered in joy. Meanwhile, Harrison was down at the bottom along with Guy, as Guy had brought them here where Naruto was. As both men was speaking until something crash landed behind them. As Harrison turned to see Naruto, completely unscathed from a drop like that, even though he destroyed the ground upon impact. As Mito was on his back, she jumped off with a smile. "Old man, you made it," said Naruto. "Well, of course I would be here to see you and the others participate," Naruto, he said, with a smile on his face. As Naruto smiled back, as he was so happy that they were here, and not to mention tomorrow was the exam finals. "But there's a lot we need to talk about, Naruto." "Oh, what's that?" said Naruto. I don't know. Like you challenging the Raikage to a fight. Oh, you heard about that. You think I wouldn't, Hiruzen said. Of course not, said Naruto. But it's no problem. As long as I win I get to fight him and show the strength of Konoha. Hiruzen sighed. Guy, why did you allow this to happen, he said. Well, I believe that it will show a peace between our villages. If the Raikage can openly accept a challenge like this and allow it to happen, well, it will show that there is no bad blood between us and Kumo. Wait, you did what? Said Mito as she looked towards her brother. You challenged the Raikage at this village? In a fight? Like the fastest man in the world right now? Are you crazy? She shouted at him as Naruto raised a hand in defense. Come on, he was the one that accepted. Naruto-kun, you don't understand. And you, Guy, I know that you would agree with something like this. I should have expected that. Naruto, you on the other hand, even though he accepted your challenge, he's not going to take it easy on you in any way possible. This is just a chance for him to show that Konoha ninjas are not up to the level of his ninjas. Even though you're fighting him, he's gonna try his best to show that Konoha ninjas are weak and use this as a political stunt. You shouldn't have done something like this, Naruto. This is more serious than you think it is. It might look like a nice, friendly little challenge of yours, but it's not. Well, if I beat him, it would show that Konoha genins are stronger than even the Raikage. Naruto, as strong as you are, I don't think that you can actually defeat the Raikage on your own. So I will talk to him and call this match off. Come on, old man, said Naruto. You can't do that. It's not like things are gonna go overboard with you there. Won't that make things bad for his image? I mean, killing a genin after you publicly accept this challenge would look like a disgrace. After all, you're a Kage, you had the strength to do so. Why wouldn't you just stop the match? He's right, Hokage-sama, said Guy. Things won't go too overboard, as long as we're all there to oversee what is happening. Hiruzen sighed. They don't seem to grasp the capability of what they were saying. But Naruto was right. The Raikage would not try to actively kill him in front of everyone. He was just gonna show how weak Konoha ninjas were, especially if Naruto did what he said and won this entire thing. He was gonna be more violent in the way that he approached things. Naruto was whacked over the head. Ow, he says he turned. What was that for? As Mito shook her head. For being so stupid. Always just looking for a good fight, not even thinking most times. What if he truly hurts you? Come on, Mito, we both know I'm tough, said Naruto. I'll bounce back right away. As she sighed, believe in me, you never stopped so far, said Naruto. She once again sighed, before she turned towards the old man. He's right, Hokage-sama, she said, as she said in a rather formal tone. It's not like he's gonna go overboard or try to kill my brother. That will just discredit the image of Kumo and him. But he's gonna fight you for real, to show that he's, well, far superior to anything that Konoha has to throw at him. Hokage-sama is right. You should have thought over this a bit more, you idiot. But you're not gonna back down, are you, she said. As Naruto shook his head, I thought so. I believe that it will be a wonderful stunt for Konoha and Kumo to show that they can get along peacefully, said Guy. Yeah, you would say that, said Hiruzen. Alright, fine. I will allow this to happen, but if things start to go overboard, I will request that the match stop immediately, and you will not argue about this, Naruto. Understood? Alright. I said, do you understand me, said Hiruzen. Alright, I understand, Hokage-sama. Alright. As Hiruzen dropped a hand on the boy's head, sometimes you can be a real troublemaker, he says roughly his hair. Just make sure you're careful out there, understood? As Naruto nodded as the old man gave him a smile. It was then that Naruto saw someone behind him. Long white hair. As the man looked over towards him, as Naruto instantly recognized him from the photo. Hey, there's some good food standing in this place. Let's get something to eat. As Naruto stepped forward. Hey, Jiraiya tried to speak, but Naruto walked past him, ignoring him. As Mito walked past Jiraiya as well. As the man looked down, Harrison placed a hand on his shoulder. Time skip. Later that night, as Mito was asleep, Naruto could not sleep. He was so excited for tomorrow. Once again, he was on the roof. He was being watched. As he knew that he was being watched, he decided to just ignore the person, hoping that it would go away. But they did not. The person this time was none other than the Saiyan himself. As he arrived beside Naruto on the roof, nothing was said between the two for a long while. Until Jiraiya spoke, decided to break the ice. You probably hate me, don't you? Not probably, said Naruto. Yes, I deserve that. And much worse, said Naruto. Why are you here? What the hell do you even want? Well, I came to watch you take part in exams. I heard you're quite the fighter. Heard you don't do that, said Naruto. Don't pretend like we're friends or anything. Because we're not. You know, at first, I thought that you were just the man that trained my father as a sensei. But then I came to realize that you were more like a father to him. So in turns, that make you my godfather of sorts. And Mito as well, but you were never there. If you were just his sensei, I would not hold you accountable for anything. I mean, you were just his sensei. For not too long, until he became a Chunin. But you were close to him. He looked towards you as a father. I found several books that were sealed away, that survived the explosion. Seals are really hard to break. The old man was the one that unsealed them for me. They were journals, talking about my dad's experience when he was younger. He was an orphan. But things changed when he met you. You took him on as a student, and you took the role of a father figure in his life. So that definitely makes you my godfather. Well, I also saw it in the book. When he came to the conclusion that him and Kushina were gonna adopt me, he still wrote in his journal to this day. He wanted you to be your godfather. He said that he was gonna ask you. And when he found out that Kushina was pregnant, he wanted you to be the godfather for both of us. But you were never there. I don't really want to hear any explanation or anything like that, because it doesn't matter what kind of work you do, you must get a day off. But not even once had you visit me or Mito. So yeah, that's pretty much it, said Naruto as he got to his feet. As he stretched, stay if you want, watch what you want. But to tell you the honest truth, I don't really need or care for you. As Naruto jumped off, leaving Jiraiya alone, the man sat down as he could not say anything that would do anything at the moment, because everything he had said was true. He failed, big time. The next morning, the place was buzzing, as many ninjas from all over were here. Many civilians from Konoha and every village, they were all here. Not to mention there was 3 powerful Kages here as well. Konoha, the Raikage, and the Stone. Oniki had made it all the way. His granddaughter was part of the exams after all. The Raikage had his son in there, and Harrison had Naruto and the others to watch over, as Naruto had become like a grandson to him over the years, as he loved the boy and just wanted to make sure he was okay. Shira and his team was the only team from the sand that survived the first 2 phases. The Akisaki was not here to witness the exam that they were partaking in at the moment. At the moment though, so you're his little sister, huh? Said Samui. Yeah, this is Mito. Mito, this is Samui. This is Karu. And this is Amoy. Nice to meet you, said Samui as she extended her hand. Mito took the hand and shook it. Nice to meet you too, she said. So how do you know my big brother? Well, he saved my life. I guess after that and his training we became friends. What about you? As she looked towards Karu. Well, I wouldn't really call us friends, but I guess I'm okay with him because he saved someone's life. But he can be a bit arrogant at some point. What? I'm arrogant? News to me. As all of them looked towards him like he had grown a second head. What? He said. What about you? As she turned towards Amoy. Well, he's a pretty cool guy. But he surely hits hard, said Amoy, as he rubbed his shoulder. As Naruto smiled at that. Well, I'm so happy to meet you guys. Naruto, a voice said, as Naruto turned his head. Someone crashed right into him with a hug. As Fu had literally flew all the way over here to crash right into him. He did not budge though, as he held her. As Fu broke apart. Fu, what are you doing here? I came to watch you, silly. Friends support friends after all. As Naruto smiled at that. Yes, they do, he said. Who's that? As she saw Mito to his side. Oh, Fu, this is my little sister, Mito. Mito, this is one of my other friends, Fu. His sister? As Fu moved forward, hey. Seeing that you're Naruto's sister, would you be my friend as well? You want to be friends with me? You don't even know me, said Mito. It doesn't matter, you're his sister. And I figure that it is the same with you, because Naruto is sweet, nice, and caring. And I think you're the same, so want to be friends, Fu said as she extended her arms. Sure, said Mito. Mito was enveloped in a hug, as she glanced towards Naruto. She's just really nice, said Naruto. Well, if you say so, as Mito hugged Fu back, as they broke apart. Meanwhile, over to the Kage's booth. Ah, Hokage Dano. Sorry, we never got to talk before. I'm glad that you have made it all this way, said the Raikage. Oh, don't worry. We have time to talk before the exam begins. As before they could speak though, another man came in, a rather large nose. He looked rather grumpy, as he seemed to be in a bit of pain. Tsuchikage Dano, he said, as the Raikage turned towards him. Is your back okay? The Raikage asked. The Tsuchikage snapped towards him the miniature glare. I'm quite fine, he said, but he had to make his way off to the side. Why are these damn stairs so much, he said, as he climbed up in his chair and sat down, with his two guards behind him. I don't think that you are a problem, Hirston said, as the Tsuchikage eyebrow twitched violently. Considering your age, they should be for you. Well, I guess that our ages has nothing to do with our bodies, it seems. That seemed to be quite true, judging from the both of your state coming up here, said the Raikage, as the Tsuchikage grumbled a bit to himself. Let's talk about something else, like you accepting a challenge from a mere Jenny. Yes, I came to talk about that as well, Raikage Dano. One of my own to be exact. Yes, Naruto. A quite strong, powerful kid he is. In all my years, no one has ever outright just challenged me like that. And yet he was completely nonchalant about it. I must say it intrigued me. So I decided to take up the proposal. Fight Namir Genin. Have you nothing better to do with your time? Well, there is a deal, said the Raikage looking towards the Tsuchikage. He has to defeat everyone in the exam. Quite a cocky one, is he? Well, most Konoha ninjas are cocky. You don't have to put it that way, said Hirston. Naruto is just quite a person that loves to fight. Loving to fight and challenging the Raikage are two different things. If you don't watch your little Genin, he might get hurt. Oh, I'm sure the Raikage won't take things too far. I mean, this is just a friendly spar between villages, showing that Konoha and Kumo can be friends. As he narrowed his gaze towards the man. Exactly, said the Raikage, but he still has to win first. And I doubt that he can defeat everyone down there, especially my son. Yes, your son. I heard he's quite the fighter like you yourself. My pride and joy. As strong as your Naruto might be, once my son truly gets into it, Naruto will lose. Well then, we'll just have to see about that. Oh, it seems like a bet is coming on, said the Tsuchikage, despite neither of them really being friendly. They were playing some kind of tactical game, showing another side of themselves that they would never show on the battlefield. Well, I wouldn't say no to a friendly wager. Is that so? The Raikage said. Well then, how about it? Your protege versus mine. What are the stakes? Wait. Do not exclude me like that. I want to throw my hat in the ring as well. Both men glanced towards Tachikage. If you haven't noticed, my granddaughter is also a part of this little exam. And she's quite the prodigy herself. And it would be quite a shame when she defeat both of your little prodigies by herself. Oh, so you want to put her in the fold as well? Well then, I don't mind. All of the Genins were called down. Despite not being a Genin, Mito was allowed to stay up in the box because Naruto told her to stay up there. And no one seemed to matter about that. As she could get a better view and watch, she doesn't have to go in the stands. Jiraiya was up behind Hiruzen, watching the proceeding go on as well, as he hadn't been able to make a good segue on the kid yet. But he's gonna find a way. Once the kid become a Chunin, he would make Hiruzen give him a mission with him. Perhaps that will get him to actually talk to him. They all made their way down there, as the proctor was once again Raymond. Alright, all of you that make it this far, this is the final exams 1-on-1. You were given 2 weeks to prepare yourself, told that you can even fight your own teammates. I hope you're all ready. The most of the people that were there were people from Kumo, as they were excited to watch their village stomp out every other village. A board was wheeled out. As Naruto looked around the terrain, it was rocky, with a few shrubs and at least 5 trees over the areas that were meant for hiding behind the scenes. But that really wasn't his thing, as names were drawn up on the board. As Naruto saw, the first person that you'd be fighting with was Akisaki of the stone. Who was that? As he turned around, as he glanced towards the only stone team that was here, he looked towards the girl. No, he looked towards the other boy with the strange glasses and the container on his back. He then looked towards the fat one. He had a feeling that it was him, judging by the look that he gave him. He saw that Lee would be facing off against Shira of the Sun. That would be a good match for him. He saw that Neru would be facing off against Kurosaki. Neji would be facing off against Hibachi, the other boy from the stone team. As he saw that I would be facing off against the girl on Shira's team, as the first round was them going down. And when they defeat their opponents, they will move on to the second round. The other Genins would be facing off against the others. As Naruto was finding this all just interesting, the first match was Lee facing off against Shira. As Naruto wished him good luck as he made his way back up to the stands, as he walked with Neri. So you'll be facing off against that Kurosaki girl? Yes, she said. Think you'll win? Of course I will. And people say I'm cocky, said Naruto, as she just merely walked in silence. At least they were getting along a bit better than before. He glanced over towards Neji, but he simply turned his focus back down towards the ground. As he arrived up there, who's Akisaki? That would be me. As Mito glanced around when she heard the voice. Oh, so you're gonna fight my big brother? Your big brother? Yes, him right there, Naruto. Oh, is that so? Well then, yes I will be. As Akisaki made his way back over towards his teammate. Stop being so friendly with them. We're here to crush them, she said. Come on, Kurosaki, it's just some good banter between fighting opponents. She's right, Akisaki, Hibachi said. We're here to fight, not make friends. As Naruto watches Lee and Shinra was in the middle. Are the both of you ready, Raymond asked. They nodded. Begin! As both boys started to throw down. As Guy was watching the whole match with interest, as he could tell that Shira was also a taijutsu user. Both boys were fighting with immense strength, shocking the Kumo ninjas when they start to break apart the arena. As the Raikage watched with interest on his face. These boys are strong, he said. Not as strong as my son, but they're strong. Hiruzen said nothing as Tachikage didn't say anything either as he just watched. Both boys start to fight even more hectic. That is when Shira upped his speed and strength. He was holding back that much, said Naruto. As Mito was right beside him. He's strong, she said. Lee was being bombarded with kicks and hits. He was forced to jump back. Lee! The voice of Guy shouted from where he was. Do it! Lee smiled as he ripped off his weights. Shira found himself really surprised when him and Lee started to go at it the same. So you're holding back on me as well, huh? Said Shira as he blocked Lee's punch. I apologize, but now I will fight for real, said Lee. As he indeed fought for real, shockwaves started to clash all over the arena, as it was like two heavyweight hitters were down there clashing, destroying the ground. As everyone was surprised by their speed and strength, Shira was knocked back violently. With Lee increased, he was able to catch back up to him. But Shira would not allow it to go this way for too long. As he jumped away from Lee, it's about time I end this, he said. 7. Heavenly breathing method. As Lee raised the eyebrow in surprise, Guy Sensei told him about this. A massive yellow engine exploded out of Shira as the ground started to crack. But he did not stop there. 2nd, activation. His muscles bulged as Lee felt himself sliding away because of the force that was being repelled out of Shira. Shira then moved as Lee's face was planted in the side of the wall. His hits were brutal. Lee found himself unable to go on the offensive. He was being bombarded with hits all over. Lee realized there was no choice. He leaped away as Shira looked towards him. It's over. Lee crossed his hands as the place started to tremble slightly. As Naruto smiled when he saw that. He's finally shown what he can really do, huh? As Shira felt the increase of power as Lee opened the first gate. He did not stop there as his skin started turning red as he pushed into the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th. Shira wouldn't let Lee outlast him as he pushed his activation up as well. Both of them were blazing with energy as they clashed, decimating the arena, shocking all the spectators. These boys were like two juggernauts. I was watching the scene down there with interest. They were good. Both boys ended up reaching their limit at the same time though. Their bodies under stress of their techniques. Their fists end up colliding in each other's face. A sonic boom was let off as the both of them were thrown. They crashed into either side of the wall as they were knocked unconscious. They knocked each other out. Raymond jumped down there as he checked over both of them. The match is a draw, he called out. Now that's what I'm talking about, said Naruto. As he was on the ball of his heel, a smile on his face. He didn't know that the Shira guy was so awesome. And Lee, that was beyond amazing. As Naruto glanced over towards I hope we can have as good a fight as that. Well, we will. That is if you pass and defeat your opponent. Oh, don't worry about that, said Naruto. I'll see you at the end. I'll be waiting, I said. That was quite the match, said the Raikage. Indeed it was, said Hiruzen. Both of them having the will to not give up until their bodies reach the absolute limit. I must admit, they're strong for Genins, said Tishikage. As the arena was fixed back up, the holes were a patch. As Naruto smiled when he saw, Mito gave him a small hug. Do your best, okay? And good luck. As Naruto smiled back at her. As he turned back towards his teammates. Yeah. You're wishing me good luck as well, but you're just afraid to say it. Well, neither of them were saying that. You go, Naruto, Fu shouted out, cheering him on as Naruto smiled. You can do this, big brother, Mito shouted back, as the both of them were cheering him on good. Akisaki, you know what to do, Kurosaki said. Mito glanced back towards her, as she gave her a look. What? Said Kurosaki. But Mito simply turned back down towards the fight. As Naruto made his way down there, bouncing on the ball of his heel. You're really excited about this, aren't you? Said Raymond. Couldn't wait, said Naruto, as he glanced towards the man. Hey, I heard that you're strong as well. As Raymond looked towards the kid. Let me guess. You want to challenge me as well, like what you did over Raikage. I must say you have balls, more than anybody here. For what you did. A confidence I haven't seen in a long while. Despite knowing that you're gonna lose. Who said I'll lose? The man smirked at that. Now, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze versus Akisaki. off the stone. The second match of the finals. The Raikage glanced towards Tishikage to see if he would say anything about the last name of the boy. After all, this was Minato's son. But the Tishikage did not move, as Hiruzen glanced as well. But the man remained neutral. Up in the box, Hiruzen glanced towards where Mito was as he could see her quite clearly. They would not dare try something here, especially on her. As Mito was there watching the scene down below her, Kurosaki kept an eye on the girl. So this was his sister. They were the kids of the man that destroyed so many lives in the Hidden Stone in the last war. But doing something here would be rather stupid, especially since she wasn't a part of the exam. But she was in the contestant box, and any little mistake could happen. But something felt off about this girl. Kurosaki just couldn't put her finger on it. It was the way that she kept herself. It was like she was prepared to strike at any time. But that was strange. She didn't even seem to be a ninja yet. Something was wrong though, and she didn't know what it was. Back down to the arena. I apologize, but I have to end this quickly, Akisaki said. Is that so? Said Naruto. I should be the one apologizing. For what? Akisaki asked. Well, I have to show I and the Raikage up there that I'm no pushover. So, I'm gonna hit a bit harder than usual. You okay with that? Try your best. I want to defeat you as your strongest. Naruto raised the eyebrow in surprise. Huh? Never thought you would say that. Okay then. I'll show you what I can do. Alright, the both of you ready? They nodded. Alright, begin! The moment the man said that, Akisaki blinked as Naruto was in front of him. Naruto slammed his fist into his stomach. Akisaki was shocked. He forced all of his chakra towards his stomach to block the impact, but he felt his body tremble. But still, he was on his feet. He reached out and gripped Naruto in his hands and held on to him. What is he doing? Said Mito. Your brother is done for. You might as well say your goodbyes, because he won't stop until he's crushed. As Mito started to laugh. Your friend might be bigger compared to size, but trust me, my brother will take him down. You're just as cocky as him, aren't you? As Nere, watch carefully. Akisaki started to squeeze as she watched. The amount of chakra he sent towards his hands was crazy. He was willing to exhaust himself to squeeze Naruto and break him. It would be quite a disappointment if he was to lose right here after his big Bosan challenge, said the Raikage. Well, Akisaki won't let him pass for another round. He's done for. You can count on that, said Tishikage. Well, the match is not over until someone is announced the winner, said Hiruzen. As I watch, before he called out, after all your boasts, is this it? Of course not. Akisaki was confused, as his hands were squeezing the life out of Naruto, but yet he was still able to speak. I just wanted to see what he can take without going overboard and actually damaging him too badly. But now that I know that he's stronger than I thought, well then, said Naruto. The ground started to tremble. Akisaki started to feel his arms tingle. I already told you, said Naruto. You and I will fight, and I'll make sure of that. With a primal scream, Naruto exploded out of Akisaki's arms, throwing him back as Naruto landed on his feet. A white aura surrounded him as he shifted into his stance. I'll be the one to win this all. And then, I'm coming after you, he says. He looked up towards the Raikage. The Raikage gave Naruto a challenging look as Naruto turned his eyes back to Akisaki, who rushed towards him, as Naruto broke the ground as he sailed right towards Akisaki. But you guys be and subscribe right here. Once the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. But I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace.